James McSweeney, just 2 days away from KSW 32 in London. Hello, how are you feeling?
Oh, I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me on your show.
I heard from Piotr Halman, your training partner in Thailand. He said this was your best camp ever. Is that true?
Yeah, it's been a phenomenal camp, and I was getting prepared for a K1 tournament. I trained the whole camp for that 12 weeks, and then the week before the show it got cancelled. And I already had the KSW fight lined up for 5 weeks after. So pretty much after that fight was cancelled, I took 2 days off and went straight into my KSW camp. And so I had like 20-week camp for this. So it took some strategics, but I'm in great shape, and one of my most successful camps with no injuries, and really got to spend the time to really develop my game in different areas that I wanted to grow in.
And I heard that you're a full Thai citizen right now. You even open your own gym in Thailand. Why is it so good place to be at?
Yeah, I'm not a Thai citizen yet. They won't give me that, but no, I live there full time. I've been there almost 2 years. Yeah, and me and my family are there full time. I've opened up my own gym there, Technical Fight Factory, and it's just a beautiful facility. And on that street is no other street like that in the world. You have many other good gyms on that street, and it just brings so much different fighters to the area. So for me, it was a no-brainer to open up my own facility there, bring European style to Thailand, and the MMA style, which is not really that popular there or big just now. Yeah, a lot of MMA fighters seem to go there to do Thai boxing, and then they have to do MMA themselves and develop it, where there's no real MMA gym. So I pretty much took my MMA gym, bought a full-size 32-foot professional cage, brought all my coaches in from Holland and from Brazil, and now we run a great facility. So I had to do my own camp in my own facility, which was very, very exciting for me.
And I have this feeling training in Thailand with such a great atmosphere, also the climate over there and the temperature is good for the health, right?
It's great for your health, but also, you know, it's so hot and humid, and great for your conditioning. And on that street, like I said, there's so many other gyms and so many fighters. It was great for me to bring in so many new, fresh sparring partners and people to train with and learn from, and to put some pressure on them as well. And it's very rare you can get a camp where you can bring in 30 or 40 different people. You can't usually do that. Usually you may have 1 or 2 sparring partners you can financially bring in. I had access to over 40 people for this camp, so it really allowed me to use them in the best way I felt fit.
What about the crazy fighting culture over there? You have, I've heard that they have even some small events on the street, right? Is that correct?
Well, they have different style of events. Yeah, they can have. There's all different levels. Of course, you can go up to the top levels in Bangkok and the King's Birthday and stuff like that, where there's elite level Thai boxing, or you can go all the way down to where they fight in the street. I mean, I won the bare knuckle Thai boxing over 10 years ago there twice, and you have a tournament where you fight bare knuckle Thai boxing for 3 fights in one night. So I did that many years ago, and so you can go for all different levels there. You can find all kinds of extreme fighting if that's what you want to do.
Can you find any good heavyweights over there? I think it's very difficult.
Of course, not Thais, but then again, there's no Thais in MMA anyway. But what there is you get a lot of people from Australia, you get a lot of Russians come over, you get a lot of Americans, a lot of English come over to Thailand to train, because it's so cheap there. So your money, your dollar or your euro or your pound is worth 50 to 30 or 40 times more value there. So rather than have a $10,000 camp in 2 months, you can have a $2,000 camp in 2 months. So it brings in a lot of fighters. So therefore, yeah, I don't go with Thais anyway. I'm too big, but I get to get a lot of fresh input from Europe, America, and Australia, and a lot of good guys to train with. So I was very fortunate.
And you're fighting a Polish K1 veteran, Marcinem Różalskim. But before you tell me about your opponent, was there a threat that maybe you'll be out of the fight because of the loss in Russia? Sometimes KSW, they change the fighters if they don't do well outside the promotion before the fight in the promotion.
If there was a threat, they didn't contact me about it. I was winning the fight. I just made a mistake and got caught. And in the industry, it happens. You know, it's saying that hasn't happened very often to me. I was on a good winning streak with ONE FC. I was winning very good and knocking out a lot of people. So I don't think one fight was a comment on my whole career. I think I bring a lot more to to the platform than just one loss or one fight, you know. So
In US it does, right?
it depends. You can say that, but it even depends on the show. You know, I think a lot of people now are going by the UFC guidelines. You're not the UFC, and even the way UFC do it, it's not seen as a good thing to do. So I think if you have an athlete that's a good fighter and a good athlete, and you know that he brings something to the show, then I think that's respectable. You know, unfortunately, it's like saying if there's one bad fight on the show, you have a useless show. It's not true. It's not your fault that they didn't perform the way you wanted to perform. Sometimes in life, things don't go your way, and in a fight, anything can happen. So I've been in this industry a long time. I've had a lot of great wins and some really shit losses, and it's just a part of life. You know, you learn by your mistakes and you move forward, and that's what happens.
And what about using elbows, which is very new to KSW, and also you're fighting your own crowd? Do you think this will be the factor?
It's a huge factor, because when I fought in Russia just now, I beat the guy on the ground the whole fight, but there was no elbows. And I really felt that if I could have had elbows in that fight, I would have finished the fight. He was a lot more comfortable on the ground with me because there was no elbows. I made a lot of punch strikes where I would have made elbows and finished it. Whereas with KSW now, they're allowing elbow strikes, so it's very dangerous for anyone who goes on your back. If you're on your back, it's not a jiu-jitsu tournament anymore. It's now got a real fight, and close to the real fight. Anytime you've ever seen me fight, especially with ONE FC, closer to having a real fight where you can soccer kick and elbow and all these things, I perform my very best. You'll see the best James McSweeney. When you put a set of rules that hold me back, then that's when I have a problem. Sometimes it bothers me. I have to second guess and not make the elbow, not make the soccer kick, not make the headbutt or something. When you give me these guidelines where you can do that, you'll see the best fighter out there for sure. But now KSW, luckily for me, I have the elbows. So we'll see.
Marcinem Różalskim, actually, he made a, let's say, a brave comment in a official video. He said elbows or no elbows doesn't make a difference for him.
Maybe for him, whether he's good with elbows or bad with elbows, I don't know. To be honest, I don't concentrate on anything my opponents say. I have never seen him fight. I don't have no interest in how he fights, what he says, or anything he does. I'm just here to perform my very best.
So you're saying you never see him fighting? Like you didn't see the video?
Never seen one of him.
Your trainer did, or?
Yeah, my coaches see, and that's their job. I've never seen any opponent I fight. I never watch their videos. I have no interest in what they do and how they fight. If I do what I do, you don't do nothing. My coaches, they make the plan. I believe in them, and they train me to how they say.
And finally, your goal for the future. You've been in UFC. You're outside UFC right now, fighting for a great KSW promotion. What's your plan for the future?
My plan is just to keep performing. I have
ONE FC, of course.
Yeah, no, I'm not with ONE FC no more. I have an open contract now with KSW, and I have an open contract with another company in Asia. I can fight. I'm not exclusive of anybody. So my real goal set is always to just keep fighting. I love the sport. For me, it's not even for money. I've made my money. I don't live off this. I have my money. This is about love for the sport and doing something that I love to do and enjoy. So as long as I'm still enjoying what I do and I go out there and perform my best, that's the future for me.
So I'm jealous for the attitude. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Good luck
much,
on Saturday.
Harry.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.